Okay, Cancer. Let's do a spread for Cancer. Welcome, I'm Natalie Moss. This is Sun Maker Studio. Okay, so for the current situation, we have the Knight of Cups. So this current situation has us with a little bit of emotional instability. This can be a bit wishy-washy. It's wanting to offer the world, but not necessarily being ready and able to fulfill that. So it's a little bit of rushing in where fools, what is it? Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. And we have the challenge, which is the Seven of Wands. So there could be some blocking, holding us back or holding us down, or we're using our own energy in order to hold something back. So there's like pressure on us and some push on us. So there's either we're being held back by something, or we're needing to expend our energy to hold something back. So there's something maybe that it could be like this emotional state and this like thing that we want to pour out and express, but there's a situation where we're limited in how we're able to express it, or someone else is saying, hey, I'm not ready for it, I don't want to receive all of this right now. So there's a lot of unexpressed emotion. What to focus on, the Magus we have, this is the Virgo card in the She-Wolf Tarot deck. We have a few extra cards. So the Virgo card, we're looking at the details, what to focus on. So, you know, what are the specifics? What are the details? It can be overly perfectionistic as well. So checking and rechecking what we're focusing on. We're focusing on the details. Virgo is also earth realm stuff, or it could be a Virgo in your life. It could be associated with Virgo energy. Someone in the life, like, yeah, with that earthy kind of tone. In the past tense, we have Seven of Cups, so we might have had a lot of options and a lot of things keeping us kind of confused about what to step into or what to step forward with, and that could have provided, you know, a lot of potentials for emotional fulfillment, but we're not quite sure what to move into. So there's a little bit of confusion or overwhelm with those amount of options, but we're leaving those past. So maybe some of those options are no longer options. Maybe they're no longer viable. Maybe we've, you know, lost sight of them, or the ship has sailed, ship has passed. What our strengths are at the moment is the Seven of Pentacles. So we might be realizing what we've been investing in, what we've been cultivating and growing, and maybe whether or not that's still the best place to be investing in, or whether we realize that we've made good investments. It could go either way with this being in the Strength card position, but we're definitely looking at, you know, what we're cultivating and what we've been growing. So we're either turning an eye to that to understand that we have been yielding the fruits of what we've put the labor into, or we might be reassessing and reevaluating that and saying, you know what, I realize now that that's not what I need to be creating, or where I need to be investing in. In the near future, we have the Six of Pentacles. So this is that, you know, the sixes are a lot about reciprocity. So with the Six of Pentacles, we can see what we're able to receive based on our gifts and our services. So this place for exchange. So maybe there's this payment coming, or this way to access what you've paid in advance for is coming through. With the advice, we're looking at the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands comes in particularly with a message of, you know, a step to take. There's a step forward. So what are you noticing? Well, someone's coming in, there's going to be something to respond to, which is going to let you know what step to take. The environment that you find yourself in amongst other Virgos potentially, or hermiting. So you're really staying away from the fray, staying away from the rest of the world, and sort of being in that retreat space, and that having that capacity to tap into and to touch on what's coming through when you're alone and in isolation, and able to just pull all your powers of contemplation and concentration into yourself and to bring that forward. So that's the environment. We're kind of staying out of the way of things at the moment. Hopes and fears, we have the Queen of Wands. So this is that big Leo Queen energy. So the Queen of Wands is very warm-hearted, very big-hearted, very generous, very capable and kind, and, you know, full of passion and energy and flame and fire, and can really like hold her community with strength and with yeah, just this kind of strong arms around the community. So maybe with our hopes and fears here, we're not sure whether we're going to have that capacity. Is this us? Do we have what it takes to be responsible enough to hold our community in the way that we wish that we would? With the potential outcome, we have the Nine of Cups here. So the Nine of Cups is, you know, wish fulfillment. We've wished upon a star, and we have, you know, this seed behind our back, this thing that we've wished for and manifested, and it's coming into reality. So, you know, this is something that we asked for that we're going to get, and that's here with the potential outcome. As our animal spirit card, we have the lizard, and the lizard is very psychically, spiritually attuned, very, very sensitive, very sensory oriented. It can take in a lot of information. So the lizard gets quite overwhelmed by a crowd, overwhelmed when there's too much activity and too much stuff going on. They can get a little bit fried, so they need to take time out to be able to just work on their creative arts and bring those creative arts into balance by tuning in to their senses. It's very subtle, so when we're overdoing it or we're in a place that's very loud, we're not quite able to harness and attune those subtle spiritual gifts because there's just too much overwhelm. So we can have a little bit of, you know, this could relate to physical symptoms which come out because we are a bit overwhelmed by the noise in our environment. For Cancer also, I was getting this message of a veil and fruits and sweetness. It's a Garden of Eden, but the garden is covered. There's a net sort of over the top of it. So it's like this element of saving it for later, not now, do it later. So it's wild grown and tangled, but it's safe and saved. So there's that element going on for this reading, and for those listening to this, considering, yeah, and within this reading space, this potential, maybe it's that Nine of Cups and that things that you've wished for and the fruits from the Garden of Eden, it's saved for later, so it might not be right now. And that's got to do also with what we've got in the current situation with the Knight of Cups and that emotional overflow and that kind of blockage or that holding back. It's not now, it's saved for later. So it is tangled and overgrown, wild grown, and so there's this element of, you know, maybe there's a natural progression that'll happen while it's left sort of saved and protected for later. If there's a natural progression, it will naturally weave its way into something that where the things that are ready to die will die, and the things that are ready to bloom will bloom, and it will kind of have an organic pace or an organic way of, yeah, bearing produce, which speaks as well to that Seven of Pentacles. So, you know, it's not about forcing things along. It's about allowing what was cultivated or what will cultivate to naturally happen in pace and over time. So this is for Cancers. I hope this has been helpful for you today. If you did enjoy this message, please like the video, comment below, love to hear from you, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing holistic interior design, human design, and tarot, as well as many other things. It's everything in the kitchen sink. So welcome, and I'll speak to you soon. Lots of love.